Before we say goodbye to our two interns, Megan and Asia, let's get to know a little bit more about them and their experience here at CSS.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Chafin and I'm a Marshall University distance dietetic intern. I'm originally from the South Central region of Ohio and I go to school in Huntington, West Virginia. I came to CSS because one of my medical nutrition therapy rotations fell through and I reached out to Janice and she was very willing to help me fulfill those 6 weeks that I was missing due to the fall through.
Hi, everybody. My name is Asia Bangora. I'm a dietetic intern here at CSS. I'm doing my dietetic internship through my job at the Maryland Women, Infants, and Children program, also known as the WIC program. I'm originally from the DMV area, specifically Washington, D.C. A fun fact about me is that after I graduated high school, I went to culinary school. What brought me to CSS is my favorite coworker at WIC. His name is Patrick. He did his food service rotation here last year, and he just told me about the great experience that he had with Janice, the interns, and the clients, and that's something that I wanted to experience as well. Since my rotation here was a little bit shorter than most of the interns, the main projects I worked on were helping to develop the food for thought classes as well as coming up with a recipe for the slow cooker program.
I came to CSS as a clinical intern and my projects varied. At the beginning, I was working on top sheets for the meal kits. I would look at the products, see what ingredients they had, list the allergens, and make sure those were sent to Janice to incorporate into the meal kits. Then I started working on meal adjustments. I would work with Janice and Carrie, and we would make a list of the adjustments we'd make for people with food allergies or different medical diagnoses that required different meals. I would then make the list of the adjustments per household, and then I would go to the Giant website, and order those ingredients and food products for those individuals that required the meal adjustments. My favorite thing about CSS was the food for thought videos. I look forward to those every single day because they were something interesting. I felt like I learned a lot from them. When I first came, it was around the holidays, and I remember watching Tiffany's video on Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and I felt like I really learned a lot about those different religions and those holidays from those videos, and I felt like I had a more understanding of a lot of different topics that I never really thought about when I watched these videos.
What I liked most about interning here at CSS was the sheet supper classes. I really enjoyed being able to interact and guide the clients in preparing their meal for that day and really just getting to help them with like basic cooking skills and getting them more involved and excited about cooking.
My biggest takeaway from working at CSS is using technology. I know people might think I'm young and I know how to work technology. Yes, I know how to work my cell phone, I know how to work my computer by getting on the internet, checking my emails, doing my classwork, but I never had made a video before working at CSS. I think these skills have helped me and will help me improve my marketing, my social skills by making videos and making Instagram posts using different software such as Canva and iMovie. That's what I learned the most and can take away from this is the use of technology and how it will help me in the future.
I feel like I have two major takeaways from my rotation here at CSS. The first definitely would be I feel like I became a little bit more tech savvy. To be a millennial, I'm ashamed to say that I'm not as tech savvy as I thought. I definitely feel like I struggled with making the food for thought classes through iMovie, but with practice and just help from a lot of the interns, I feel like I definitely kind of mastered it, or I feel a little bit more comfortable than I did definitely at the start. My second big takeaway through just my time here doing the sheet supper classes, reading the active engagement book, I feel like I got a little bit more or became a little bit more knowledgeable about the clients or the populations that are served at CSS. And I feel like in the future, it'll definitely help me become a better dietitian. After completing my dietetic internship, I'll be returning to the Maryland WIC program as a nutrition counselor and breastfeeding aide. Hopefully, soon after, I'll be passing the RD exam to become a licensed and registered dietitian. In the future, I also would like to become a lactation consultant as well as a certified diabetes educator. Just because of my personality, I feel like I'm very bubbly. I love to be around people, so I'm definitely interested in working in community nutrition, but I really want to work in a setting where I'll be able to educate people about clinical nutrition in a community setting by helping them to make practical and long lasting changes that will help them be able to combat chronic diseases.
My plans after my dietetic internship would be to move home around the Columbus, Ohio area, and I'm not sure if I want to be a clinical dietitian or a community dietitian. I know that I have my certified lactation consultant certification, and I would really like to work with breastfeeding and lactation. I could do that either in a hospital or WIC or even at a private practice. I also really like working with people with type 1 diabetes, so I have a bunch of different options that I really would like to work with, and I'm not really sure which aspect I'm going to work with first, but I hope to get a very wide experience as my time goes on and I become a dietitian.